Hi all. Right, haven't been away long, so we get the Allied Impulse started anyway. I'm not sure I'll be able to complete it all, but we'll see what we get. 12 Corps Division, 4th Armoured, it's 4th Infantry, isn't it? 10th Armoured. Okay, yeah, pretty sure I've had this card a few times as well. Right, let me have a look, see what's what. Okay, they've taken quite a beating as well. There's only this unit left. The other 2 of the 10th Armoured are destroyed, and the 4th Infantry, this was a misprint, are destroyed as well. So, well, that guy is going to be out of contact. So I suppose we need to have a quick look and see if there's anywhere he could redeploy. It's got a small that's his boundary down there for deployment. So probably unlikely, but I'll have a quick look. Yeah, I can't spot anything. There's a 2 or 3 that are surroundable. Also a couple that you wouldn't be able to trace supply. Yeah. No, I don't see anything for him to redeploy as out of contact. So we want to try and activate him, and well, you can take an IP. And remember, guys, this is a division card. It's not a core card, so we don't consider the shattered core rule. Because there's only one of the unit in play. So it's division card, so it doesn't count. So yeah, you can take an IP, so we're going to actually draw 3 cards for him. Yeah, strange things, eh? Oh, you never know, he could get some of his, he's got a few units round about, he gets a card that, yeah, we'll see. Okay, so 3 allied action cards. We got only one offensive one, which is attack, so we'll see. Withdraw under fire, pull back. This is dated 28, so it's still okay still. So, yeah. I'm not sure I can see much happening because it's just unit stack, isn't it? No, I mean, that's a full stack of 8, I think, maybe 7. And he's only considering himself. This is, we're still okay on camera there, and this is 5, well it's actually 6. We could reach to that, but it's 4 against 6, he needs greater than. He'll not be able to get right onto here, which is just on the edge of the camera. And what about St Hubert? Hang on then. Well, I might as well keep you there. We chucked another unit in there. Maybe just as well. I'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, I could. He is proximate to St Hubert. 1, 2, into the Broken Hex. 3, 4, 5. So that's 4 against 4. Now he doesn't get a boost because there's a victory point hex, so he's just 1 short there. So that was fortunate, I think. Because yeah, it's other proximate units in same core reinforce if he was to satisfy the situation. So well, maybe I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it's not the right card. But however, 4 against 4 is not greater than, so yeah, just have a quick look. I don't think there's an option. There's a target for him. Hi all. Right, it's been a while since that last bit of video. I didn't get back to the table that night. So a few days have went past, and we were right in the middle of, well, just looking back on it there. I think this is the first card that we're trying to, and I've only got one unit to be able to do it with, so I did double check that. We were just trying to see if this 10th Armoured unit could carry out the attack action, but didn't think it was possible, and it's got to have greater strength than the unit it's proximate to, and there's nothing. It can only move itself, it's just stacked itself, so I don't believe that's going to do anything. So yeah, so we'll move on to the next card. I think they activated because he can build an IP. He's the only unit in part of this. I remember we talked about the Shattered Core rule didn't apply because this was the division card. Whereas if it had been the core card and there was only this one unit, then that would have applied the Shattered Core rule. Okay, so withdraw under fire. Unit surrounded on danger of surround. No, he is not in danger of surround. And then pull back. Able to move in out of communication or in danger surround. No. I figured that. I seem to recall when I drew the 3 cards thinking, well, the fact that there was only one unit we were looking at, it was very unlikely that it was very unlikely that they were going to do, that he was going to do an awful lot. I suppose they might have moved somewhere if that had came up. So it does get to build an IP though, but not really that helpful to the allies. But I suppose another good impulse for us. So I shouldn't complain. Just starts to make me wonder about all the times I did moan about getting unlucky that quite a few of these impulses for the allies have not done an awful lot. And I've talked a few times about being so lucky with the British unit. So right, okay. So back over to us. Right, I'll need to have a look and get myself up to date on what we were thinking, if we were thinking in at the time. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, yeah, I don't think I'd even looked at the cards to see what I might be doing. We've got two core cards, the rest are division cards, so I don't need to be doing any of this nonsense, I suppose, but I feel like I want to do something, and well, I suppose part of this is going to be using cards up in my hand, so it's getting to the end quicker, the end of the day quicker. So I thought, and I hope this doesn't come and bite me in the bum though, but because I'm thinking about making an attack on this guy. Now this is victory points in this hex, so, and I've got 3 single units in the hex. So I suppose there is some risks with that if things were to go horribly wrong and I'd had to take a few hits. Yeah, I suppose I could go down the dispersal road, but so unfortunately these guys are out of fuel, so I'm activating the second SS anyway. These guys are out of fuel, this is part of the second SS. This unit is one of the 9, oh no he's not, he's one of the sort of, so the lone units doesn't have a division basically. So I've only got these 2 in the 9th SS. That's I thought. No, I don't want to be moving them. Do I really? No, that's silly, Grant. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm just there's no movement with any of the other units. I'm just going to attack with these guys. So that's 6, and then yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about the last card though. Okay, so I can play up to 3 combat tactics. It's going to reinforce battle with these guys. No, oh no, I can't get to a different hex anyway, can I? No, I can't get in there. Right, so there's no option there. Okay, so they're going to reinforce. So that's bringing another 7 along, which is 13. it's a pity. I'd probably prefer to have used that, but that would only be 14. Whereas 15's better, isn't it? Yeah. I do use the other card though as well. And again, I know I keep going back on this and feels like I'm just chucking my cards in to get to the end of the day. But, right, I'm going to use assault coordination as well. I mean, yeah, I suppose that does look like I'm chucking a card in just to get that 1 unit in. But it is taking me up to 15 strength. So, I mean, the other oh, wait a minute. Are we in fixed artillery range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, we're just one short. Is it still 7, isn't it? We're on the 27th. Yeah, it doesn't go to 8 until the very last day. 7, yeah, 7 to that hex there. Or that would have been. I could chuck combat engineers in. It doesn't give me anything else. I mean, it gives me 1 strength. Well, it does prevent him from playing combat engineers. Give me a sec. I don't think I will do that. At least 2 cards in my hand. I've got 1 more card to draw. And yeah, I think I could probably... I was looking at the possibility of making a bit of a daft attack to finish the thing. Like I say, I've never been here where you're trying to push to the end of the turn to get the game finished. So it does feel a little bit weak, but I know I keep saying that. But we do want to get something else on the table, Grant, don't we? We want to get this done and dusted. We've talked about that, literally dusted. And we're probably just changing the map to a rather similar map. Although I've not 100% decided on that yet. The Allied Soul, it's been a long time since I played that. Longer than this, and I haven't played it as much, so I don't think I would be mind you, I've not breezed through this rules wise, so it'd be a bit more challenging. Okay, let's get this one finished first, Grant. We can decide that later. Okay, so he's going to be able to draw a card. Could get a defender. Could get a combat tactic. So like I said, we're 3, 6, 9. 13, so we've got 15. That unit at the bottom's a bracket unit, so it's 15 to 3, so 5 to 1 odds. And yeah, okay. It was reinforced battle, yeah, that's right. So 5 to 1 odds. So we don't get a chip for that bottom guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. We also get an extra 1 because he's 3 steps, so that's 5. And then 2 combat tactics is 7. So we've got the magic number. Until he plays air power, then it's not so magic anymore. Okay, and we're going to draw a card for the Allies. Yeah, that's what they get. So it's 18 core, so it's not a match for them for a defender. It's not engineers, it's artillery. I was going to kick myself there. I should have played engineers, but it's not. It's artillery. So there I get artillery. So I'll leave that up there. So just in case we forget. Okay, so he's an elite infantry unit in the woods. Minimum of 2 chip pools, maximum of 7. Now, do we have armour? We do not, do we? Oh yeah, no we don't. Are they both? Yeah. Hey, watch that in future, that one. All these mechanised armoured units that turn into mechanised infantry. There's more than I thought within the game, and I think was it one of these units and one of the other ones you wanted to take the hit on the armoured unit because it reduced it better. There was better odds, but you were losing your armour, so that's one to maybe think about in the future. Okay. Right, I'll get them to minimum first. Oh well, good starter, and then we got a wage chit, so that brings it back to 0. Right, well, he didn't have the air power, so, well, not that it would made any difference. I would still be going to 7 anyway, but a large attack's going to be good for us, so we'll go to 7. Ah, that was another wee bit of a roller coaster there. We go this, which was good, but I thought, oh, it's an A hit. Got the large attack with an A minus. I'm thinking, yes. They got another A hit, a D1. This didn't count. It was 91 on the front. And then sadly finished with a defender elite. So I'm not sure. Let me count the numbers up. Yeah, so that defender elite just saved them. We needed D4. We only got 3. So, however, there was no artillery turned up, so I should be grateful for that. And we did get that A-1 to just give us 1 hit. And it's chasing them back, and part of the... move the cards out of the way so you can actually see what, obviously my thinking was that we might be able to grab another, we're at the near end of the day though, so it's just that breaking through here would give us access to Manhay and possibly, what is this called? La Roche, is it? Aye, La Roche. Yeah, oh yeah, actually yeah, I've just, that division card is for the 3rd PG, and I couldn't activate them that turn because they had already been activated, but I could actually activate them next turn, so I'm guessing he's going to, he'll be dispersed though. Right, okay, let's deal with the combat first, Grant, let's not get carried away. Okay, so 3, so he's going to, well, actually, we do need to find out where he's going to retreat to then, isn't he? He's going to retreat. Oh, no. Yeah, well, he'll be dispersed. That's right, because he's going to retreat, take a step loss. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so he's going to either retreat here or here, and that forest is via road, so withdrawal direction, yeah, is that way. So he retreats to there to satisfy the first hit. Yeah, it might be on our way, and then he's still got 2 hits to take, so he's going to retreat again. Well, this time he can go into any of the 3. That is a withdrawal direction again. So yeah, he's heading back towards Manhay, I suppose. And then the last hit he's going to have to take is a step loss, and because he's retreated twice as well, he becomes dispersed. So let's flip him over. Disperse them. So yeah, the good part about him being dispersed is we still have access right into there. Bear in mind, we still have to take a roadblock check on approach to there. So, okay, and he was that was the hex the combat was, just to remind myself. Okay, so we need to take a hit. Yeah, it's probably going to be in that infantry, isn't it? Yeah, we take a hit in the infantry because all the rest are 1-step units, so he thinks his replacement chit there. Okay, right, I'll clear some of the chits away and see what our advance is going to be. Yeah, well, I don't think we advance any of this. This isn't a VP hex itself, so that doesn't really. We advance into there, And then the mechanised unit. Now, remember, it's following the path of retreat. So, well, actually, this isn't zone of control. It's zone of control anyway, because he's dispersed. But we can advance the second hex. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's quite interesting. I could actually next impulse. I mean, unless I want to like use all my 3 cards and just go for. Well, in actual fact, you know what? I could activate this, move it, and then maybe I make an attack on that if I was being. Nah, that might be a bit silly. Yeah, I think. Okay, that's my advance after combat. We'll go with that, and we'll see. I mean, the allies have still got to do stuff, and we'll find out what our last card is as well. Okay, I'll clear the cards away, and we'll get the last card in our hand. Okay, let's see what the last card of the day and hopefully of the game for us is. Okay. Well, it's a primary core card, so I probably could have worked that one out. Yeah, we've got this guy in low supply. He's adjacent, but we don't have an assault coordination now, though, so nah. Well, we'll see. Okay, now I probably do have time. That's the usual. We'll see what it is first. If it's complex, I do want to get this finished. I probably could finish this right now at this sitting. Right, let's draw an allied impulse in. See what we get. Third core. Okay, that's down the bottom. Oh, that's going to deploy the reserves. Ugh. Oh yeah, I was hoping to avoid that because the last time we were deploying the 12 core reserves with quite a lot of them to try and deploy, was it? It would have been now, they were down here too. Was it the 8 core guys? Yeah, it was the 8 core, wasn't it? And there was a bit of headache trying to find places to put them. So I'm going to get something similar. The boundary is not quite as big. That's the 8 core in south, but this line's the 3rd core in south. Yeah, that's right. We do have a bunch though. 3 armoured units. Hopefully they're just coming in too late and we can just last the day out. But you never know. I mean, even if I did have managed to make it just one more impulse after this, the allies might still mess with things. I mean, we've got only 1 unit down there in R1. There's the units there that are going to come in. So they're just line units, but 3 armour, 3 infantry. Okay, I'll pause the camera now and go and hunt some hexes down, some possibilities for them. Okay, I've looked right across the area. What's the hexes that's surroundable and allies couldn't trace supply to? I don't think this one's surroundable. It would be an allied supply. We can't get a zone of control on this hex because these units can't move into there. If there was an allied unit here, we can't get around to here. So I think this is a target. It's the only target. So I'm just double checking. Core area, able to trace allied supply, German unit proximate. Yeah, well, both these guys are actually proximate. It's not in dangerous surround. It's not adjacent to an allied unit. But that is the only hex, so I think by me putting this armoured unit, it's also within 3 of a unit in its core as well, which is just a bit of luck, really. I mean, there was limited choices. Well, that to me was the only hex. I'll let you see the whole picture there. I don't think you need to see any further east than that. So that's the only one I can see anyway. So, and by putting that there, it doesn't help with trying to deploy any of the other units with method A. So I'm going to go straight to method B now, because that was the only hex I could find. So, and that makes it slightly more simple. So these 2 other units from the same division are just going to go into this hex. So see that one? That's a dusty one. That's been sitting in the reserve. Well, up in the calendar first for long enough, and then in the reserves for too long. Grant, too long. This has been here. Okay, I don't think the guys going there is a real concern to us. Probably some of the strongest units we've got down there. So. Yeah, that's fine. So the other infantry units, well, they're the same story. There's obviously we'll need to find the place for the first one, and then they'll just all go into that hex. So this will be with method B. So I'll have a look. Okay, so I've got 3 light green cubes here. All these are in ally supply. Position hexes, and they're within 3 hexes of a unit in the same core. That's within 1, 3, and they're within 4 hexes of a German unit. There's a German unit here, and there's a couple here. So, and they're not in dangerous surround. No, they are not. Nope. And not in a German town or city or town. Right, and then I picked these because these are all 3s. Well, these 2 are 3s, but this one's a 4. So it's going to take priority when it comes down to it. Yeah, it's within 3 of a unit in the same core. Obviously, if this wasn't within 3 of a unit in the same core, you would then consider the 3s, because they would take priority before the, it needs to look for the core first. Well, it needs to look for the division first, but there's no division on the board. I'm sure you know all this by now, guys. If you don't, then I don't know. I've said it a number of times anyway. I've said it probably too many times. I'm sure some of you are saying. Okay, so I think this one's going to go here. Yeah, there's no dangers around there. So, yeah, so maybe slightly more threatening. We've got Ettelbruck there, which is victory points. It's maybe not really. I mean, yes, I suppose it is slightly threatening Ettelbruck. I think it's probably not really threatening R1, unless things were to go on to the next day. Which I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. So the first guy goes in there, and then the next 2 guys just join them, as we say, with method B. Once they've got a division on the board, they just go in beside the division. So 3 infantry units into Mersch there. But yeah, I think we're still okay. I feel like we're maybe past the panic stage now, but well, there was that moment back when we thought we had supply, and it went to the wire, and the last card spoiled it for us. But we're on 47 victory points, and we need, to remind myself, was it 40? We need greater than 45. So, good stuff. Okay, that's Allied Impulse over, so we'll get a German Impulse along shortly. Yeah, I better take a pause just now, and then maybe if I think we can get through this quickly, I'm sure this will be the last part anyway. I've only got 3 cards in my hand, so I could force them all out maybe. Then just one Allied Impulse left, and then anyway, I'll pause just now and I'll get back with the next German Impulse, guys. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Right, let's get this finished. I've got 3 cards left in my hand, so I could make this one more German Impulse, one Allied Impulse, as long as nothing, as long as the Allies didn't pull out a miracle, I don't think we would be okay. Part of me feels like it's a bit finishing the game like that, but the other part does say, well, this is going on long enough. I know I've harped on about this. I could possibly make an attack here where activate them. I've got 2 units here. One's bracketed. There's also one there that's bracketed. For a total strength of 5, 2 of which are bracketed. So bear in mind that's only 1 chip pool. I've not got Assault Coordination, but I could play Combat Engineers to take the strength to 6, which would remove this IP as well. So I'd have 6 against 3. It's an elite infantry unit, but it's going to be in low supply. So it'll be 2 to 1 odds with 2 chip pools now. But I've got fixed artillery, as we know, and that does reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we reach to there. So that would be 2 to 1 odds with artillery. He's not got an IP, he's in low supply, and we've got artillery, and he can't draw a card. So it doesn't sound terrible. It's, I suppose, the only 3 chip pools. It's hardly, it's unlikely to do anything to him. And the thing is, even eliminating that unit, which is probably unlikely, it doesn't really do anything for me. So I talked about this up here, and I could have a go at Manhay. This unit's dispersed, so I could, if I got lucky, move in there for the victory points. If the dice roll went for me, but I'd only be able, and even if I considered what I said was getting into Manhay and also making an attack, or even if I moved to there, got stopped by the roadblock, I could consider an attack. I would only be able to play 2 of my 3 cards though. I couldn't play the fixed artillery. It's too far away. So that then means that I've got to pass over the Allies and then come back to me and then give the Allies another impulse. So but this kind of feels like the more exciting finish. Trying to get Manhay. I don't know. This attack down here doesn't really do anything. So I'm kind of taking a gamble if I go up this way, really. It's probably a little bit silly, but I think I'm probably going to do that because it feels better. It feels like we've been at this for a long time. It feels like it's slightly more rewarding finish if I can take another victory point time. So I'm just going to pause and have one last think about it. See if I'm being silly, because if I fail to grab the 2 victory points and the Allies do put up some force to attack one of the 2 victory point times I've got and manage to push me out of it and retake it, that would drop me down to 45 victory points, and I need 46. So there's a slight gamble. I mean, looking about, you can't really see them doing that, but who knows, eh? Right, I'll have one last wee thought about it. Okay, I've decided I'm going to do what is probably the silly thing to do and try. It just feels better to me. I just hope I don't regret it. Hope nothing comes along and spoils things. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to activate the third PG division. Now, normally there's only 2 units. One of them has been eliminated already, so it's only this guy we've got. So, yeah, let's go for it. Okay, so I'm moving him into here. And this is a victory point town, so I'll have to take a roadblock check. So, we ain't done this for a while. I can just about squeeze it in there. So, we need higher than a 5, so a 6 or better. Yay, yeah. Well, that's good at least. Because it would have been a bit of a dull finish if I hadn't managed, if a roadblock had just popped up. So, okay, so we've only moved 2 movement. So we are indeed going to move into Manhay. I mean, the good thing about that is it's given us that wee bit buffer of having the extra two victory points. So we'll take them right now and move up to 49. So even if we were to lose 2 now, we're still good for the victory. So I'm not going to move him any further than that. So now I don't think this attack's worthwhile because there is a risk. He's only a 1-step unit. And admittedly, dispersed units, I do get to ignore an attacker hit. He doesn't get to draw a card. And I'd be playing, what was it, infantry infiltration, so I'd be drawing 2 chits. I could ignore 8, but I mean, imagine if I drew 2 A hits. He's in a forest, he's elite. Then again, the A hits, I mean, I don't think you get A hits for like forest chits or even, you know, I mean, the A hits, I suppose you could get them for your odds though, couldn't you? I mean, we could draw, because it's 3 against 2, so I mean, we're just 1-1, so I'm not sure. I think this is probably silly to attack. As long as I can use both the cards on the next impulse, then it's silly to attack, yeah. Just let me look at these 2 cards and make sure I can use them both in the one impulse. Oh, you know what? I'm going to attack. I'm going to attack. It feels... I wish I could... I mean, obviously, I wish I could use both cards and then that would be the deal done, but it does mean my last impulse is going to be a bit of a non-event, really, but yeah, it kind of makes me feel like I should have done this the other way about and kept this bit till the end, but however, okay, we're in there now, we've rolled dices and everything. Okay, I'm going to make this attack, and I'm going to play, oh actually, I would only be able to play 1 combat tactic, wouldn't I, because this is only one command value, so there you go, I couldn't play that anyway. So I'm going to play, that's infantry infiltration, that's on. So I'm 3 against 2. So it's only 1-1 odds. I'm going to, I do have infantry in the attack. Mechanised infantry counts as well as normal infantry. So it's 1-1, it's just 1-1 odds. And it's only 2 chip pools. I'm not really want to draw that many anyway, I'm just... he doesn't get to draw a card. We do get to ignore 1 hit. He's only got 1 step, so it's a minimum of 1, maximum of 2. Just double check dispersed again. Yeah, it can retreat only 1 hex. Yeah. Hang on a sec. Yeah, I was just double checking the fact that I think this was a question I asked way back, actually. because it's not really clear in the rules that this unit's dispersed. You can't draw a combat tactic, but there's nothing. He's in supply, so there's nothing to say he couldn't have an undetected allied defender pop in. And I'm pretty sure it was me that asked the question. But there's a rat I put in to say that if all units in the battle defender are dispersed, then you don't draw for an undetected allied defender. So you just don't draw a card. Okay, so minimum, I'll get the 1 chip pool. We'll see what we get. As long as it's not an A hit, I'll be fine. Well, I'll put it on that side just to scare myself. Well, artillery wasn't played, so it doesn't apply. So I'll get the 2nd chip. Yikes. Well, there's reasons why I shouldn't have been doing what I was doing. Less than 2 to 1, then that is silly. I should never have made that attack. I mean, to be honest, I didn't want to make an attack in the last impulse because there's not really an attack worthy of making. The one I was talking about down in the middle, I wouldn't have been able to use the combat engineers, and that would have been a bit too risky too. However, we're okay. It's an A1 hit, but because the unit's dispersed, we get to ignore that. So nothing happened. I suppose we spent that card. Nothing happened, and we have Manhay, and that's impulse over. So now by doing it this way, like I say, the downside is the allies are now going to get an impulse just now, and then we've got to play the last card in our hand, and they're going to get another impulse. So I'll get the next allied impulse up just now. Okay, let's see what we get. Allied impulse. Okay, 7 Corps division card for the 84th Infantry and the 3rd Armoured. Right, I'll have a look. Okay, so 2 of the 84th Infantry have been eliminated and 1 of the 3rd Armour. And the 2 other 3rd Armour units, one's here, they're both reduced. In fact, all the units are reduced, and the other, the infantry's here reduced. Unfortunately, it's just a division card, so it's not going to try and repair points. So nothing to deploy, but out of contact wise, they might actually be moving, because this one isn't out of contact, but these 2 could be, the removal of them would not create a gap. There's no German unit proximate to each of these 2. And we've just moved this unit into Manhay, so there's a good possibility they're going to redeploy into there. Their core boundary is here north, so that fits in perfectly with that. So, that's probably going to happen, so I'll just have a wee look. Okay, so we're looking at, this unit selector number is 24, and this one is 25, so we're looking to move this unit first. He's just on the bit. Can you just see him on the camera? Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, this guy here. So they have 3 light green cubes. This German unit is proximate to all of them. This has got a whole value of 3, this has got a whole value of 3. Now this is Houghton, which we can reach. It's got a whole value of 5, another victory point town. But if everything else is okay, these 2 are within 3 of a unit in the same core, whereas this one's just outside. 1, 2, 3. It's 4 hexes away. So this wouldn't be considered first. So and also this one's a 4, but again it's just outside. That's reachable as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can just reach that hex, but again it's 4 away from that guy, whereas these 2 are 3 away from that guy. 1, 2, and I can't get right on there, so I think they're the 2 possibilities. Now could this one be surroundable? They're coming across the river, aren't they? So it's doubtful. No, I don't see that being surroundable either. but it's going to probably go westernmost, isn't it? Because they're both 3s. Right, so let's just double check. Empty position hex, units core area. Able to trace allied supply. Yep. Germany approximate, not a dangerous round, not a German held town city, not adjacent to an allied zone of control. What is it? It's 5 or 6. Well, they're not. So, yes, I think so. And probably means that. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, the second one might go in at hot, eh? So, my thinking is this guy's going to redeploy out of contact. He's going to lose his IP, which is fine. And he's going to come here because it's within 3 of the unit in the same core. He can't find a hex within 3 of the unit in the same division. That's too far away. I'm only considering this German unit. I think this is the only one. This is the only one that can get proximate. Yeah. So, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Oh well, Marseille's beyond the core boundary anyway. So yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure that's right. Within 3, and then more than one highest hold value, and then if more than one westernmost. Yeah, so it picks this one over the westernmost priority rather than this one. So then we look at the next one, and he can redeploy as well. But this brings up a new hex. Now, although this one's still applicable, it's actually within 3 of the unit in the same division. Houghton now becomes within 3 of the unit, and not only within 3 of the unit in the same core, it's within 3 of the unit in the same division. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this guy can move to Houghton, so I'm pretty sure that seems like it's a no-brainer that he's going to redeploy to Houghton. Which makes sense. If I was to get an activation on this guy again, I could just stroll into Houghton. I would have a bridge check as well as a roadblock check, but yeah, and this one wouldn't be applicable because this has got a whole value of 5, so it overrides that one. Yeah, I think that's right. Pretty good. There was maybe a wee show now. I think we have showed it throughout the game a couple of times. Moving out of contact units can be quite powerful for the allies. Get them in a better position. It's quite a clever way to have done it, Okay, that'll be the impulse over. So we've only got one more allied card to worry about, I think. Well, I suppose, unless they drew... I'm not going to say it. Right, I'm not going to say the words, just in case. Okay. Right, we might as well push on because I'm pretty sure we can finish this. So I've got one card left in my hand. I'll move the camera a little bit. Give me a sec. Okay, so there's my last card. That's for 80 core. There's nothing really clever I can do. I can't even really make it. Well, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd be making an attack 5 against 3 with only 2 chip pools. He's in a town. It's a clear hex. Grant. It's a temptation. No, I think it's a bit silly. I'd love to finish on that. That's why maybe I should have finished with that. The chance of going to Manhay and maybe done something else beforehand. But should I? Oh, does it really matter, Grant? You know what? I'm just gonna. I've not had my activate any one unit either, but I'm gonna repair a point on this guy. It's either that. Activate any one unit. There's nothing I could go for, if there was something I could have a run at, but there's not. So I'll repair a point on that guy. He's a supplied. They are supplied, and they can trade supply at the time. So, we'll bring him back to full strength, and that's all we'll do. So that's the last impulse, last German impulse, and hopefully the last German impulse of the game. But an Allied impulse to finish it off. Let's see what we get. Okay, here goes. Oh, now I never even said. I didn't say the words, and they were the words that I was not wanting to say. No command. Oh no. No, I've no cards in my hand though. I think I queried this question before as well. In fact, I think I've seen somebody else asking this question quite recently. But the fact that the air power, it's going to be air power that's going to trigger. So, I'll put the card where we can see it at least. So it's going to be air power, but they're going to draw another card as well. Yeah, this is horrible. This means they're getting another impulse, isn't it? Because that's going to be in my hand. Here's me not trying to jinx myself by saying, unless they draw a no command. So, air power, remove an out of supplier isolated marker. Well, there's no allied units. They've only got a low supply allied unit. So, it's going to be one that Straffen runs right enough. So, I have to discard the highest CV card from my hand. I don't have any. The air power card goes in my hand. Yeah, and I'm going to have to rid it in my next impulse. So basically that's all that happens, but because of the rule, what is it again? 8.2, ally card draw, first card, no command. Yeah, 8.2 rule, I can't remember, I want to find what it's called. We've had it a few times, haven't we? No command exception, yeah. So let's say draw another card for another impulse. So now it means they're going to get this impulse and then another impulse. That's not good. Right, and this is full 7 core this time. The guys that I've just redeployed, oh dear, they are quite strong. Around Verviers, oh dear. What have you done, Grant? Yeah, I could have avoided all this nonsense. So again, well, there's nothing to deploy, but could they redeploy? Well, you know what? It's still possible because that unit man hey, so that might be our saving grace actually. Because this is redeploy. This is the whole core rather than it was just 3rd Armoured and 84th the last time. So, right, I'll have a look, see if there's anything out of contact and any places that they might redeploy to. Well, I've just realised that if they don't redeploy, they're not going to activate it, because if they don't redeploy, they've got plenty of units to repair. So they'll assign 3 replacement points. So we can breathe a sigh of relief there. But I suppose I still need to look, because the out of contact redeployment comes before that. So there's definitely, I mean, this. Zoom down a little bit. This unit, I think there's 2. Yeah, there's 10 strength in here. I mean, there's no German units proximate to them as well, so these 2 are out of contact. So this would be the first one to move. He's selector number 1. Obviously these 2 are not out of contact now. 1, 2, 3. This one's not. No. Yeah, so, well, actually the cavalry as well. So it's these 3 units that are out of contact. Yeah. So Right, I'll have a look. Yeah, I'll just chuck the two, because these are German units proximate to both of these, and in actual fact, this is the second armour unit. So this hex, not this one's too far away, but this hex is actually within 3 of a unit in the same division. It's in supply, it's not surroundable, because we were looking at it earlier. The guy can only come, well, in fact, no, he can't come across the river there, can he? So, no, this is definitely not surroundable. And, yeah, it's got everyone else going for it. So, and like I say, it's within 3 of a unit in the same division. So this selector number 1 is going to come up here and redeploy into there. And the next one to look at would be selector number 2. Now he's in a victory point hex. I have a feeling that's not relevant, is it? In a sec. Yeah, I think we looked at this before and then thought it was a bit strange and then realised that there's no German unit proximate to this. That's why it's out of contact. Removing it, is not an issue. The only issue would be if it's creating a gap, which it wouldn't be. Now the cavalry unit moving might be. Now, is this still a candidate then? I think it probably is, isn't it? In supply, it's unsurroundable. It's within 3 of a unit in the same division now, because this guy's moved, so it's within 3 of that. It's got a whole value of 3 compared to, well, that one's adjacent, but that one's a 2, so it's above the boundary line. Yeah, I do actually think this guy's going to come out Rochford and redeploy to here. Now there's probably no more positions anyway. Obviously these 2 are adjacent now. This one would actually be surroundable. Yeah. So I don't think the cavalry would move. I'm just wondering where the line. Don't know, does that create a gap there? Maybe it would actually. Oh well, you know what? There's no positions for it to go, so there we go. So we kind of got away with that. I would hate you guys to move again, mind you. If we draw another 7 core card, which is, you know what, it's possible. That's the supplemental one. We could, because we've still got to draw one. Okay, so that's our impulse over. Our impulse is get rid of this no command card. Okay, last I had impulse is 8 core. Okay, right, feeling better about that then, I think. Not that they're not right. Nothing to deploy. Expedite. No. Well, nothing to deploy. We need to chiff again for out of contact. If not, assign 2 replacement points. Possibly. I think this unit's damaged here. Maybe. But we need to check for out of contact redeployment first. So there's quite a lot to look at there. So give me a sec. Okay, I didn't think there was going to be anything because when we deployed a lot of their reserves, struggled to find places for them, eventually fitted them in. Then we deployed the 3rd Corps units down here, which had a smaller deployment area, but we struggled and we found one last hex for them to deploy via Method A anyway. And the 8 Corps units go up to here, so they've got that wee bit more there. And I've just realised we had a bit of a breakthrough here, and onto this hex here. I think, well, mind you, is it surroundable? No, hold on, no. 1, 2, Nah, that's not gonna. Yeah, I think that's the only hex. So if I'm able to surround that, which I think I probably am I not? No, maybe not, Grant. Give me a sec. Yeah, I don't think that hex is surroundable. I don't think we can get a zone of control into here. We can move this guy straight into there because that's dispersed, remember. But we can't get him into here. There's 3 to move into there, and then it'll be another 3. And these guys can only come sort of here and here. Can't get nothing into there because of this unit. So I actually think that's a hex. It's in the its core area. Yeah, it's just, that's the line there, so it's south of that. So it's just in German units proximate to it, yes. And it's not a dangerous zone like we just said, so right, I only started looking for hexes rather than units that were out of contact, so hopefully we can find something that's out of contact now to redeploy to it. So I'm going to go back and have a look at that. Okay, there are possibly 2 or 3. This stack is out of contact. This unit's out of contact. There's also a couple along to the east there. But it's more than likely we're only moving 1 unit here, so I'm trying to find the lowest selector number. We've got... Where are we? You see that? Yeah, sorry, this guy here. He's selector number 3, but he is not out of contact. The German unit's proximate to him. But I think this guy is. Yeah, because these guys are surrounded. They can't actually move. So there's not a German unit proximate to that unit. And the removal of it. No, it doesn't create a gap because our allied line still starts here and goes along and up and along that way and then up. So none of this stuff in here is relevant to the line. So I do feel that the removal of that guy here, selector number 6. I mean, this guy's 5, but he's not out of contact. The German unit's proximate to him. So the removal of him to here, I think, is good. Yeah, there's been an awful lot of... It's all been redeploying out of contact units the last few impulses for the Allies, so I suppose that could be the tricky bit, that maybe catch you out. Somebody might spot something that I've missed regarding that, but yeah, I feel like that's a legitimate hex, I think so. Yeah, it's definitely not surroundable. Nothing. We can't get a zone of control in here. 3, 6. Yeah, I mean 3, 5. They could come into here, but still not. We can't get nothing zone of control in that hex. Okay, gonna go with that. Okay, so I think if I've done it all right, that should be the last impulse. Okay guys, there we go. I believe we're on the end of the day phase. So we need to check the victory conditions of the scenario to see if you have won or lost. And then if not, blah blah blah. Well, let's just open up, find the actual Yeah, so we checked the calendar and let's say we're at the 27th, end of the 27th, so if we had less than 31 victory points it'd be an operational loss, or greater than 45 victory points an operational win. We've got, there we go, 49. Excellent. Well, it's it's been a long grind getting there, but I think we've done it. So it was well worth hanging on for, I suppose. Like I say, I've never went that deep into the game, and then I felt like you get to the point where you're bulging, try to reach the muse, and then think, right, I've run out of steam here. So at that point I felt like, well, it's probably worthwhile giving up, and I think I've done that in the past when I played it myself. I've thought, right, okay, I can't get the muse, but there's still a chance of victory. You start then becoming the defender a lot, and trying to hold what you've taken, not let the allies retake all the stuff you've taken, and you can come up with that. And we've actually, like I say, that was the plan, was to try and get on the 27th, which was the last day of getting an operational win. And in the rule book it gives a wee meanings of the victory levels. It says a German operational victory. While the German offensive lacks the depth to make a serious drive on Antwerp, it holds the Meuse River and severs communication between the US and British forces, decimating 3 US corps in the process. Allied command and supplies thrown into disarray, delaying the western drive into Germany by 6 months. So there we go. So we did reach the Meuse. The word in there says holds the Meuse River. I'm not quite sure we've done that, but yeah. Oh, that was good. I'm glad we did stick at it. Like I say, plus it shows you that the other side of the game, with the Allies starting to attack a lot more, and us try to defend and whatever. But quite an epic sort of session there. Hope some of you have stayed with me to the end and seen how it all went. But I'm really chuffed because that's the first time I've played this game and got a victory. I did say, I think I spoke about the playthrough I had before. I just played this. Well, I started off saying I was going to play the full thing and then only played the. What is it? I don't know, the first few turns. Is it German Breakout? German Breakout. And I think I maybe sneaked a win there, but I think that was me sort of. I'd really been intending on playing the full thing and then just bottled out. But yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it. It's probably went on far longer than it should have done, but I can only say, I think I've said before, that's how I've enjoyed putting it all together. And yeah. So what's next? Do I try and set up the Allied solo game? Like I say, it's a totally different game. It's not that I'm thinking, oh, it's the same old thing. I mean, I don't think I could set up this again and play it right away, right now. I think I'd need to have a break from it. I think what I will do if I do set up the Allied solo game, I think I'm going to have to move away a little bit and set something up on my other table. So that I think the Allied solo game, if I do start it up, it'll go much slower. I'll not be at it constantly, but I say that, and I did say that as this game went on that I was going to like set something else up but every time I came up here I just wanted to play this again and see what the next step was going to be, and yeah, whatever. Oh yeah, and although I'm saying that we've had a victory here, there have been some mistakes. I fixed most of the important ones. in a messy kind of way, probably. Thanks to all the people that pointed them out. Mainly Martin, catching me out. It was good at first. I was hanging on in there and not making a mistake, and he even pulled me up for one that wasn't a mistake. And I thought no, it's not going to last. And then things started getting realistic, and yeah, it's really tricky to. You're playing this game solo as well, so nobody else sitting there beside you saying, "Oh, you can't really do that because of this." You're gonna have to spot it yourself. And I do look over my videos, but I've done that a few times. Well, the one blatant one was like moving the unit, retreating one unit out and leaving one in. And I watched back that video as well. At least I'm pretty sure I did, because I tend to look at them, give them a glance back, just in case I spot something myself. So, not flawless, but again, I challenged Mr. Butterfield himself to show us how it's done flawlessly, because it's a tough challenge, but very enjoyable game. It really is. It's really good. And the other thing, I was hoping that. Maybe when I did get round to getting this finished, that Kharkov might have been here, but it doesn't look like it's on the horizon as of yet. So hopefully late summer would be nice. We might see it then, but I don't know. These things can get put off in everything that's been happening in the world. It's understandable, isn't it? So, yeah, I probably wouldn't be surprised if I had time to set up the Allied solo and play it before we see Kharkov. But we shall see. Okay. I'll double check. I'll probably have a wee glance over this video again. This is going on quite long as well. I'm just about to upload the second part, so this is probably the third part, and that'll be the 27th. So it was quite a short part compared to the other ones, but I suppose that's because I was playing a few cards, partly trying to just push for the end of the day and get things finished. Well, okay guys, unless I can think of anything else to say, I might come back and add it on before I upload the video, but if not, hope you enjoyed it. Hope I've not went on too much. Well, I know I have. Sorry, it's just how I'm enjoying doing it. So if you want to watch any more of my stuff, I'm sure it'll be the same. So the whole point of the video was to try and create a game. I've played through this that was as rules error free rules as possible. I think I've done a decent job, but like I say, there's lots of bits to catch you out, and they got me as well, so I have to hold my hands up there. Okay, yeah, that's going to be it for the German solo of Any March in Ardennes, and maybe I'll be back with the Allied solo. We will see. Okay guys, cheers. Hi all. Right, I just watched back over the last bit of video, so just before I uploaded it, I just wanted to double check. Hopefully there's no going to be comeback, because I want to strip everything now and clean things up and get this off the table and see what we can do next. So once I start taking it down, obviously I can't go back and fix anything then. So yeah, but I spotted an error, which was rather a shame for the last wee part. I was just watching back on it there again to wonder why I actually did it, and it was regarding the last play. We redeployed this unit which was out of contact, and it was out of contact, and that was a valid hex for it to go. For some reason I was only considering this unit or these units here to be able to move, and I remember counting 1, 2, 3 into there, and this is as far as you can go. But I completely forgot about this unit in Manhay. I mean, he is proximate not only to this hex, he's proximate to this hex, and more importantly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's proximate to La Roche. So for some reason, I just forgot all about this guy and was just considering these units here. I think we had done so much round about that with that guy that we figured, but remember this unit's still dispersed, so it's nothing to stop him going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in at La Roche. So, and like I say, this hex would have taken priority over this one because it's westernmost as a 2, but this is a 5 hold value. Now, yeah, that was another thing I didn't look at actually. Oh no, it's 8 core units actually. Give me a sec. Yeah, for some reason when I was looking back on that, I was thinking it was an 18 core unit, but it's not. It's 8 core. So the priority is not the highest hold value until you've deployed it, and you're wanting it 3 away from a unit in the same division. Well, so that's not possible. Then 3 away from the unit in the same core. Well, that's actually not possible. This unit there is from his core, but 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, wait now. Maybe the plot thickens here. Well, that's going to be adjacent, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. Is this hex? 1, 2. Nah, it's not proximate, I don't think. Oh wait, I better have another look at this before I make another mistake. Yeah, okay, this is the nearest unit from his core. But this is the only hex that would be within 3 that might have been possible, but a German unit is not proximate to this hex. So, and there's no others within the core. So then you look at within 3 of a unit in the same army. And that actually brings La Roche into it as well, because there's a unit from the 3rd Army here, which is within 3 of La Roche. And there's actually not a unit within 3 from the same army. There's not a unit within 3 of that hex or that hex. So, so that would have came into it, admittedly. But I just totally forgot about this unit being able to approximate. So I'm pretty sure that this guy should have popped in there rather than where he did. Nothing changed. It was the last impulse of the day. Nothing else was going to happen. I just managed to blank this guy moving down from my mind for somehow, which is a bit of a shame to finish on a bit of a low like that, but at least we spotted it before we uploaded it. And hopefully there's nothing else in there, because like I say, I'm gonna finalise this video, this wee short bit, add it on, upload it today, and while it's uploading, I'll probably be stripping this and bringing it down. So if you do happen to spot anything, by all means, bring them to my attention and any of the viewers' attention. But unfortunately then, all I'll be able to do is add some comments maybe to the next video that I make, maybe, and say where I went wrong, possibly. I'll add a wee note in about this one as well on the video, just so that if you get to the end, there'll be this wee bit on the end explaining it. Okay, I'll leave it at that for now, guys, and still not 100% decided if I'm going to set the Allied Soul up or not, but we shall see. Okay, cheers.